Hello friends, welcome to Adobe XD Video Tutorials series. In this video tutorial, we are going to understand component states in Adobe XD. Component states help us to make elements interactive, guys. Component states help us to make elements interactive. For example, if I click on the play button, no element is interactive here. What I want, when I move the mouse over this read more button, background color should change to black and text color should change to white. When I click on this toggle button, the background color should turn into green and this ellipse should move towards right side. Off text should change to on. So I want to make these elements interactive. For that, of course, we have to define component states, guys. And the first requirement is we have to create component. Adobe XD by default provides two predefined states. They are hover state and toggle state. Hover state and toggle state, guys. Hover means when we move the mouse over the element, something should happen. Toggle state means when we click on the element, something should happen. Okay. We can also create these states by ourselves, which actually called as user defined states. States which are defined by the designers are called user defined states, guys. First we understand hover state and toggle states. Very easy, guys. Let's go here and understand. As I told, first requirement is we have to convert the elements into component. I select the read more text and this rectangle box, and here we have the plus icon which says make component. If I click on it, you can see we have created a component, and you can see here it is showing the name component 11-1. So it's a component. And what is a component? You can see in the component we have both the elements, the read more text we have as well as the rectangle we have. You can see that, right? Now, so that is a component. Okay, now to define the hover state, we go to default state. Here in front of that we have the plus icon saying add state. If I click on that, you see there is a hover state. Click on that. If you want to change the name, you can change. I leave it as it is. Now we select the hover state. Okay, open the component and define what should happen when we move the mouse over this component. Rectangle, as I told, I select the rectangle 5, change its color to black. I select the read more text and change its color to white. That's what we want, right? When we move the mouse over this element, background color should change to black, text color should change to white. Select the component and select the default state. Click on the play button. Now you see when I move the mouse over this element, background color changes to black, text color changes to white. I move outside, background color changes to white, text color changes to black. So you can see we have made an interactive element. That's called a hover state, guys. Okay, let me explain once again. So what we do, first we select the elements, click on make component. Here we have the default state, click on the plus sign and say hover state. And then what we do, we open this component, guys. So that is component 12-1. We open it. On the hover state, we want this rectangle 8 color should be black and read more text color should change to white, right? Select the component and then go to default state, click on the play button and see. Very easy, guys. That is how you will use predefined hover state. As I told, you can create yourself a hover state, which is actually called as user defined state. Let me explain how it works. Okay, how do we create hover state ourselves? Here we have the read more text and the rectangle box. Of course, first we have to convert these elements into a component. So I click on the plus sign. We have a default state, you can see. Click on the plus sign. Instead of selecting the hover state, we select new state. I click on the new state and we name it HOVER, hover state. Any other name you can give, hover state. Now we select the hover state and you can see there is component 13-1. We open it. Select the rectangle 6. Change its color to black. Select the read more text. Change its color to white. After doing that, if you go to default state and click on the play button, nothing happens. You see that nothing is happening with the read more button here. What we have to do is we have to switch these states on the mouse hover. For that, we go to prototype tab. Go to prototype tab. Okay. Select your component, select the default state, and click on this circle with the right arrow. Select that, and here trigger action, instead of tap you select hover. That means when we move the mouse over this element, it should switch from default state to hover state. So here we have the destination state. Change it to hover state. Okay. Next, you select the hover state. Again, click on this circle with arrow, and here trigger action should be hover. Destination state should be default state. Now we select the default state and click on the play button and see. When we move the mouse over, you can see background color changes to black, text color changes to white. If I move the mouse outside, background color changes to white, text color changes to black. So that is how you can create yourself a hover state, guys. That's called user defined state. Let me explain once again, okay? See, we are in the design. First we convert these elements into component, right? So click on the plus sign. You can see it has converted into a component 14. Next, we have a default state here. Click on the plus sign and say new state. I name it hover, STAT, hover state. And then what we do, we select the hover state, open this and change the rectangle color to black, text color to white. And then we select the default state, we go to prototype. Okay, at present nothing is going to happen. You see that nothing is happening. So we have to switch between the states. So for that, select the component, select the default state, click on this circle with arrow, trigger action hover, destination state hover state, and then select the hover state, click on the circle with the arrow, trigger action hover, destination state to default state. Now you can see if I click on the play button, mouse hover works, guys. So that's about mouse hover, or simply I say hover state, guys. Hover state. I hope you guys have clearly understood predefined states, how you can use, as well as how you can create yourself hover state. Now let's understand the toggle state, right? So for toggle state, what we do? Let's select these elements, click on make component. We got the default state, you can see that. Click on the plus sign, and this time you select predefined toggle state. And do not change the name. If you want, you can change the name. Select the toggle state. We have here component 15.1. Just open that and tell what should happen when you click on this. Select the rectangle. We want its color to change to green, and we want this ellipse to move towards right side. Double click on off and change the text to on. That's it. Now if you select the default state and click on the play button, if I click on this, you see on, off, on, off. So that is toggle. Okay, let me explain once again. Select these elements. What you do next? Make component. Then in front of default state we have plus icon. Click on that. Select toggle state. Okay, select the toggle state. Open the component. Select the rectangle 10 here. Change its color to green. And then move this ellipse to the right side. Change off to on. Select the component. Go to default state. Click on the play button. Now you see if I click on this, on, off, on, off. Now same thing we'll do by ourselves. Okay, let's create a toggle state by ourselves. That's called user defined state. So what I do, I select these two elements, click on make component. Here we have the default state. I click on the plus sign and say new state. Name this as TOGGLE, toggle state. And in the toggle state, what we want, open the component, select the rectangle, change its color to green, and move the ellipse towards right. Change off into on. Then select the component, go to default state. If you click on the play button, nothing happens. You see that if I am clicking on this toggle button, nothing is happening, because we have to build that interactivity. We have to switch the states. So we go to prototype, select the default state, click on the circle with the arrow. Instead of hover, you will select tap, guys. Tap means clicking. Tap, change the destination to toggle state. Select the toggle state, click on this circle with the arrow. Trigger should be tap, destination should be default state. Now I select the default state, click on the play button. It does work, guys. I click on, off, on, off. Let me explain once again. Go to design, select the elements, click on make component. Then click on the plus sign, select new state, call it as TOGGLE, toggle state. I hit enter. Select the toggle state, open the component, select the rectangle, change its color to green, move the ellipse to the right side, change the text to on. Then select the component, select the default state. If you click on the play button, if you click on the toggle, nothing going to happen. So we have to build the interactivity. Let's go to prototype, select the default state, click on the circle with the arrow, trigger action should be tap, destination should be toggle state. Select the toggle state, click on the circle with the arrow, trigger action tap, destination should be default state. Select the default state. If you click on the play button, toggle works on, off, on, off. So that is how you will be using predefined states, as well as you can create your own user defined states, guys. That's it, guys, for this video tutorial. I suggest you people to watch this video again and again, understand everything clearly. If you want, you can make the notes and practice few times. You get more clear idea. In the upcoming video tutorials, we discuss more about component states, guys. If you like this video, hit the like button and share with your friends so that everyone will get benefited. For more benefits and be up to date, do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Keep learning, keep designing, keep sharing. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. See you in the next tutorial.